On tape, one truth stands out. Everybody eats when we're talking about the Bills offense.
Hey, manja, 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 manja. Here we go.
And one way they like to spread the ball around in their offense are with screens to their wide receivers, tight ends, and even their running backs. Now, if we specifically focus on these screens to the wide receivers and tight ends, which is primarily what the Bills like to do, they have 9 completions for 114 yards, 2 touchdowns, which is first overall. Basically, every 2 times they throw these screens to wide receivers or tight ends, they're putting a point on the board, a .54 EPA per dropback on these plays. But it's not just about the screens to the wide receivers, tight ends, and even the running backs. It's what Joe Brady has built on top of those plays. So once defenses start to zone in on those screens, he's got plays built on top of it to create explosive plays down the field. So I want to break down how the Bills like to present this play, how they like to get to this concept, and why everybody eats is such a team mentality that you can see when you turn on the film.
Not trying to get the explosive play. He's not hunting them, but he feels it'll come to him if the game moves on.
It's a quick pass to Shakir, trying to get him out in space. Breaks through the defense and stays on his feet. Shakir, what a play! Touchdown!
Let's start off with the formation. Typically, the Bills like to run this out of 4x1. You see 4 eligibles to the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom, and they'll run it with an RPO. So Josh can basically hand it off here or spit it out on the screen. On this play, he spits it out. But what this does is this RPO, this little mesh right here between the running back and quarterback, holds defenders on the Ravens, allows guys to get out in space to block. You see 2 receivers out in space, Shakir and Elijah Moore. That's a hat on, a hat out wide. And basically, now it becomes Dawson Knox versus Roquan Smith. That's a long distance for him to cover. Good blocking by Moore and Shakir. That allows Dawson Knox to get up the sideline for a first down. 4x1 sets. This is basically how the Bills love to run this play.
Getting engaged like that, this team's better.
8-17, they go quick. Dawson Knox works the edge. Knocks down the sideline, Roquan Smith.
Against the Jets, another 4x1 set, right? 4 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Here's your RPO mesh. Josh spits it out to Dalton Kincaid. What do you have? 2 versus 2. A hat on a hat to the bottom of the screen. The Bills players pick up the first force player and then climb to the next. And then Dalton Kincaid just does his work. And he basically has to beat the third defender coming from inside. Again, those 2 guys were held inside because of the mesh of the running back, that threat of the run. And now you're getting Kincaid in space to do some things after the catch.
It's the boss. You can't pretend to throw it to them.
3rd and 24. Another catch for Kincaid as he's wrestled down by Sherwood, who made a couple of tackles on this series.
Against the Dolphins, the Bills come out in a 2x2 set. 2 receivers at the top, 2 to the bottom. But then they motion Dalton Kincaid into that trips bunch set. What do you think's coming next? Another motioner shift. Now you got that 4x1 look, right? What do you think's coming? There's the RPO mesh. Josh spits it out, and I mean, just look how much space the Bills are working with and why they're attacking it. The Bills are in great shape here. Now, there's your hat on a hat. Boom. They pin everyone inside. Now you get Kincaid, who is very good after the catch, going up the sideline for an explosive on that RPO wide receiver tight end screen.
It's Dodson and Kincaid. Now 2nd down and 1 from the 20. Caught. 1st down. A lot of room to roam. Can he get to the end zone? He gets to the 1. Dalton Kincaid.
Here's another iteration of it. This time, pony personnel. 2 halfbacks in the backfield. Tight end, wide receiver to the top of the screen, and Shavers and Dalton Kincaid. Here's the RPO portion. There's the mesh that holds defenders. That allows guys to get out in front. Shavers, hat on a hat. Watch Dalton Kincaid go pick up the outside defender. Swing pass to Ty Johnson. And then you get to see Dalton Kincaid show off that blocking out in space on 3rd and 3. And that allows Ty Johnson to pick up the first down.
Monday, 0. So now 3rd and a long 2. Ty Johnson the back. He's got it. Technically a run, but it's a good play inside the 20 to the 15-yard line.
Now back to that pony personnel set. Ty Johnson, James Cook in the backfield. This is from week 4 against the Saints. Kincaid, Shavers, bottom of the screen. What do you think's coming? much like that Ravens game, the Bills build on that. You see a quick little fake to Cook, the fake screen right there to Ty Johnson, and now you're getting a post from Shavers, slow play from Kincaid, and then up the sideline. Looks very similar to that Ravens game, that 3rd and 3 situation that I'm sure the Saints studied. Josh executes the fake and then puts a perfect ball into the hands of Kincaid for the touchdown.
Pinballs his way into a great position.
That was an in-and-out crossover right there.
It was.
Chance of
Should just hit the 3 at the end of it.
Allen, wide open, Kincaid, touchdown.
As I said, there are many ways to get to this play. The Bills don't do this often, but against the Dolphins, they went in empty here. And they're running the same concept, just in a different manner. So here's a fake screen right here by Shakir, a guy that's dangerous with the ball in his hands. You're getting a post from Ty Johnson, who is aligned out wide, and then an out and up by Dalton Kincaid. So same concept, same play from a different formation and personnel grouping. Everybody eats, right? Pump fake to Shakir, gets these guys to stop their feet. You got 2 defenders playing quarter, half to the top of the screen. Josh does a great job of leading Dalton Kincaid inside. He catches it with his hands, saves him a big hit from this defender that is playing that quarter part of the field. Kincaid adjusts, keeps his balance, and does what he does best after the catch to get in for the 6 points.
Not an empty look.
Yeah, they went from tight to 5 receivers in this pattern. Allen throws to the sideline, open, reaching for it, making the grab, and into the end zone. Dalton Kincaid for the touchdown.
There are many ways to get to this play, and there are a multitude of options who are good after the catch on these plays. So once again, from the Dolphins game, Bills 4-by-1, right? They send Shakir in motion, and it presents very similar to the Ty Johnson play against the Ravens. Look at the set right here. Right at the snap, you see Shakir do the same thing. There's RPO. You're already getting a hat-on-hat outside by Shavers. Here comes Kincaid to clean up. Ball's in the hands of Shakir, a very dangerous guy with the ball in his hands. And he's able to scoot up the sideline for the touchdown. Hat on a hat to start the play. Shavers, Kincaid. Now Shakir just has to beat that guy coming from depth. I mean, this is an easy button play, presented differently, very similar to the Ty Johnson play that we saw against the Ravens. This time to Shakir, and they're able to get it up the sideline for a touchdown.
2nd and 5. Outside to Shakir. Inside the 10. Shakir all the way in. Touchdown, Buffalo.
A lot of fans think that everybody eats is coach speak, but when you turn on the tape, the Bills bring it to life. Everybody eats. Everybody blocks. Everybody runs. Everybody catches. Everybody gets their shot at the same play or the same concept, and one of those ways are with their wide receiver and tight end screens.